Hi, everybody. I've had an absolute blast recording your championship intros on audio and also on video. And for those of you that didn't know, the videos can be done special exactly the way you like them because these are green screens and we can do them with a scene behind me. Do you want a fighting scene? Do you want a beach scene? Do you want a race car scene? Any scene you want, we can give it to you. It's your theme and my pleasure. Just write our offices and we will answer you with the exact fee involved and how it'll get done. So here we are, and now it's time, and it's your choice. Cheers!
From the shores of Malibu where the waves are pumping, to the Great Wall of China and back to the streets of San Antonio, Texas, where the UFC is coming. We are live. This is It's Time Radio, the show we talk about what you think about but may be afraid to voice. Don't worry, we talk about it all for you. Politics, entertainment, sex, drugs, rock and roll, you name it, we talk about it. I'm here today with my co-host, TJ DeSantis. TJ, how are you?
I'm good, Buff. I just realized I can't just refer to you as Buff on this show,
No,
at least this episode.
Not this episode, because we have a very, very special guest on the show. Man I've known for a long time, a man you all know because of his legendary status in the world of sports and entertainment, the greatest announcer to ever live, walk the planet, and to grace the squared ring, a cage, you name it, a football field. He does it all. Let's bring on my legendary brother, Michael Buffer. Michael, how are you?
I'm good, Bruce. Hi, TJ. How you doing?
Good. Michael, you hold It's Time Radio record for having the longest stint between two appearances. Last time you were on this program was June of 2009, something like that. Crazy.
Well, you know, all good things deserve to be sit on the shelf for a while and ferment.
Yeah, I mean, we're running it back. The brothers Buffer, united on It's Time once again.
Here it is. Here it is. Sitting on the shelf, that's something Michael does not do, is he does not sit on the shelf. Michael, you've been at this now. You know, we're long lost half brothers. We met. Everything is amazing, all that's we've accomplished and known and done together and everything you've done in your illustrious career. Michael, how long has it been? I got to exactly for how long have you been gracing the squared ring? Your first
since
moment.
Since 1982.
Oh my God! Wow, that's a year before I was born. Not to make you feel old or anything.
35. That's unbelievable.
That's 42 years roughly.
All the great fights you've announced, all the great fights that you've witnessed, all the historical events, you know, the great days of Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Mike Tyson, you name it, you've announced it. Now coming up this weekend is what's considered to be the third largest gate for a boxing event ever in history. Have you heard that quote, Michael? That was a quote Dana made.
I don't know how that's gonna. You mean live gate?
Yeah, live gate.
Oh no, it's not even close to that. We've had 90,000 and 80,000 in Wembley a half dozen times, and
I think
100,000 plus in Mexico.
Not to interrupt you,
But,
Michael. It's dollars spent, not asses in seats, if you will.
Oh yeah, and in dollars, it could be. It might end up, if they want to take into account the aftermarket, which is where most of the tickets are sold, it would probably be the number one gate. But I think they have to go by, the actual paid gate into the event itself.
The face.
That's a great point, right? Because we don't bring that up often, Buffer, the secondary market.
No, the secondary market's just, it's absurd for this.
They run, the secondary market runs everything from concerts, sporting events, that sort of thing. You go on the internet to buy tickets for anything, and all you get are secondary markets, StubHub, whatever. It's just they have all the tickets.
Yeah, they do, because they're scooped up within minutes of opening up. I know that in this case here, UFC personnel were offered what was considered face value of the tickets. Seventh row was a $10,000 ticket, so I can just imagine what the aftermarket's going to be doing for that. It's going to be huge. But getting down to the fight itself, highly watched fight. It's amazing they're still having a UFC event, which I'll be announcing in San Antonio on the same night. But the eyeballs are going to be on this fight with Canelo and Crawford. And also on the co-main event, the super welterweight bout between Callum Walsh and Fernando Vargas Jr. is a fight that I would like to see personally because I'm a fan of
Excuse me. There's no such thing as a co-main event. That's just a fight before the main event. They don't have anything called a co-main event in this. It's main event only and quality, decent, good quality undercard.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I like the idea of a co-main event.
Well, I see where Michael's coming from. In this case, this is the main event.
Right.
They have a number of quality events underneath, so I see exactly where.
Well, let me put it this way, Bruce.
It's the stature. Well, it's a stature thing. They want the main event to have to stand alone, not have a piggyback.
You know what? We're telling a lot about our personalities here. I'm with Bruce and Michael Buffer, main eventers, and I'll always only be able to hope for a co-main event assignment. But I'll be the guy that says it. I like the co-main event title.
Still, Undisputed Ring Magazine's Super Middleweight Championship title. Michael, how many belts does there's so many belts, in boxing. How many belts does Canelo actually hold?
Whatever the number is, he's got them all.
There you go.
So,
yeah, his pants aren't falling down anytime soon.
One of the amazing
that's why
things.
It's called
Why it's called
Undisputed.
Exactly. One of the amazing things here is, Dana White has opened up his whole boxing arm. He's working with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, who you've worked with for years. And it literally seems to me on the outside looking in that it's changing the landscape of boxing as we currently see it. This move together. His Excellency has definitely changed the landscape, having the best fight the best. And how many fights is he actively promoting now? Is he doing like at least one a month, two a month?
Yeah, it seems like one a month or 10 per year. And what's really great is that he has put together, this will be, I think, the 7th in less than 2 years, the 7th undisputed contest in the ring. Twice was with Fury, and actually it was 3 times with a heavyweight, and then two undisputed titles in the light heavyweight division, and then the super middleweight contest with School and Canelo a couple months ago. So this is the 7th time. And it's just unbelievable because we just didn't have any undisputed titles. And this will be the 7th time he's promoted an undisputed fight.
This is what I love about it. It's kind of like in the UFC where the best fight the best. And His Excellency is bringing all these fighters together to do exactly what you just stated, which is have the best fight the best, which is really the way it should be, every time. Now,
well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Now,
I'm curious. You guys have both been around combat sports for a very long time, and you know both MMA and boxing very intimately. Is it not the greatest time for combat sports? You might be able to argue that there was a better heyday in boxing, probably not from dollars and cents standpoint, but I just look at it right now with Bruce. There's a high quality MMA event every weekend. We're getting these blockbuster, history breaking boxing cards on the regular. Can you think of a time, Bruce, that it was ever better than it is right now for the landscape of combat sports as a whole?
Well, I think the entertainment value is there overall, and certainly in the MMA world, it's at its heyday. Boxing has been so historically the water cooler conversation on a Monday at the office, and with the fights that are being put together with the big names, I mean, who's not going to talk about Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford fighting? When Tyson Fury steps in the ring. I'm just so happy to see, as Michael just said, that His Excellency is putting together these great fights. Wonderful to see my brother announcing these great fights. And I think boxing is really in a strong point. Michael, one of the things that goes with that is, along with His Excellency and the fights he's putting on, you have the Jake Pauls, putting on his fights, bringing the young eyeballs into the world of boxing. How do you feel about all that? What was that? How do you
mystery if I've ever heard one?
I love it.
Michael, how do you... That's my cell phone sitting here with my Robert De Niro ring call.
I love it. I love it. I figured that was the case.
Michael,
how do you feel about the Jake Paul fights and things like that, bringing the young eyeballs into boxing?
Yeah, anything that cultivates a fan, that's great. His fights have produced mega audiences, and he brings in a younger crowd, and that, I think that's a big benefit to developing a fan base.
I agree. Then you have other fights like Mike Tyson fighting as he did recently. Now they're announcing the exhibition between him and Mayweather. I know it's going to draw huge numbers and stuff like that, but on one end, it's like I love seeing both guys box, but sometimes I have an issue with it. But it's an exhibition fight. I mean, we're not talking about a real toe to toe here, but they're still going to have to go at each other.
Yeah, it's a spectacle.
Is that how you refer to it, Michael? Would you call that a spectacle?
Listen, the word exhibition just says it all. It's they'll be wearing headgear, I guess, if it's an exhibition, and that's it is what it is. It's interesting, I guess. I don't know if Michael and Bruce Buffer are going to go to their wallets to watch it, but it'll be interesting.
I was talking about combat sports as a whole, guys, and we cater to the audience. Like, if people have an issue with certain matches being made, like, I don't want to say it's their fault, but we speak with our dollars and cents, as you alluded to, Michael. Do you feel like with combat sports where it's at, and Bruce, you can speak to this with Dana. Dana has always been a combat sports fan. There was a rivalry between boxing and MMA for the longest time because MMA was trying to get that acceptance sort of going, when it came to that mainstream water cooler talk that you alluded to earlier. Do you guys ever see a night where, if Dana's involved, I mean, he's promoting 3 different combat sports right now, 4 if you want to consider power slap, really. But do you feel like we could ever see a night where in one building we see the best matches in jiu-jitsu, boxing, MMA, and could that all be housed in one building on one night?
No, I don't see that happening.
I don't see it either. I mean, I see the possibility thereof, but I think if you're going to watch a boxing event, you watch a boxing event. If you're going to watch an MMA event, you watch an MMA event. If you're going to watch a jiu-jitsu event, you watch a jiu-jitsu event.
Yeah.
The beauty of boxing is the sport of kings, the whole bit, is that it stands on its own. And I always say that mixed martial arts and boxing, you don't compare the two. They're 2 different fighting sports. And I like to keep it that way. I don't want to see that change.
Couldn't agree more, because I think it's intriguing, the idea that you could have it all in one night, but then you run into issues with, like, do we have a ring over here, an octagon over here? Then you're talking about these seats that are selling for $10,000 a pop not working. You're screwing up your whole seating chart. And you said it too, Bruce. I don't think that the sports, I think they're great by themselves, but I don't think they complement each other when they are presented back to back. If you have an MMA fight that's very fast and a very technical boxing match on the backside, not that the boxing match isn't great, but the pacing doesn't feel right. You get all sort of weird flow and
no, you explain it. Like Michael said, he doesn't see it. I don't see it. I don't want to see it. I want to see it kept separate, and I want to see it each sport respected and by the fans that they respectively draw completely on their own. Michael, you've announced the biggest boxing events in the world. You're about to announce one of the biggest boxing events ever to take place, and of course, you'll have more to come in the future. But I also know one of the things you love to do is you love football. You love being on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles. You love being on the field for the Rams. You'll be on the field for God knows how many teams you've announced for, and you're just a huge, huge NFL fan. With this being the first week that the NFL has had their games played, it's been pretty amazing, huh? We've had a couple of really amazing games between the Buffalo game, the game last night with Minnesota. Who do you think is the team to be reckoned with just out of the first week, if you can comment on that with what you've seen so far?
Yeah, with 32 teams, you have to put them all up on a screen in front of you, and then because you're going to comment and leave teams out or add teams. There just seems to be in each the NFC and the AFC, there seems to be 12 to 15 legitimate contenders, really good teams. And then some average teams, and only a handful of teams at the most that you would just say, oh, well, they're out of it. It looks really competitive. Chicago lost last night, but for the first half, they look like world beaters, and they have what may be, the next big thing at quarterback with Caleb Williams. And I mean, he's awesome. The defense kind of let them down, but then Minnesota is an outstanding team to come back like that. So there's just, and then, Baltimore and Buffalo the other night. It just, I think it's going to be a great season, really, really outstanding season.
I think it's going to be a great season too, and we're both huge Birds fans, Philadelphia Eagle fans. How did you feel that the Super Bowl team looked in their first outing?
It looked like the first week, I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Today in August, starters don't play, so they go into the, in the exhibition games. Preseason games. Anyway, they went into that game and it seemed to be a little bit of rust, if you want to use that word. That it was their first game, so it's an outstanding cadre of players on the team. They probably have a better team right now. Their one cornerback doesn't look. Cornerback 2 looks like it might be a soft spot, but they have an outstanding defensive coach in Fangio. So I think they'll be fine.
Oh, I think so too. I remember last year they pretty well started off the same way. And I read a statistic recently, and I know you got to go, Michael. We'll let you go here in a couple minutes. The quarterbacks, the overall earnings. I was surprised to see Aaron Rodgers is the highest earning career quarterback of all time with $394 million. With Matthew Stafford behind him, Tom Brady at third place, Kirk Cousins at fourth, and Russell Wilson at fifth. And Aaron Rodgers, came back off an Achilles heel injury. He's playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, goes to play the Jets, who he had, relationship with. It's amazing these quarterbacks can still play as long as they play. I bet Brady could even play if he wanted to step back in too.
The rules are so soft, though, Bob. So soft.
True. Who do you think is the best quarterback in the game right now if you really had to look around? Or is that a fair question?
Yeah. I mean, how can you choose between Lamar Jackson and, the quarterback with Buffalo? And I mean, these guys and Mahomes, I mean, there's just a dozen, maybe 10 really outstanding guys with the top 5 or 6 that you just can't make one pick out of. So, just a lot of talent there, and players that are quarterbacks that don't just throw the ball. They're mobile. They do things. Right. They're smart. They study. It's amazing what they do. And in the college game, you see the same thing. I mean, guys release the ball, and wide receivers make catches today that are mind blowing. So the sport just seems to get better every year.
The anticipation that these quarterbacks have to have for their receiver to be where they will be when they throw the ball is crazy. I was watching a slow motion breakdown. The quarterback threw the ball before the receiver juked right to then make probably a 5 to 10 yard run to his left, and the ball was spot on. That's why these guys get paid. Buff, you were talking about all that money. The quarterback will always be the king of the gridiron because it takes so much intelligence. I think athleticism is great, but it's the mindset of a quarterback that is what people are paying for. You have to be so mentally on point.
Of course, the cerebral cortex of the team when they're on the field, along with being the leader. Another thing, Michael, with the NCAA allowing players to make the money they make playing in college, obviously players are going to be interested in finishing college more so than ever, unless they are offered those huge contracts. But I'm blown away, Michael, by the millions of dollars some of these players are getting paid in college football. And I think it's a long time coming, and I think it's totally justified. Would you have liked to seen that happen a long time ago?
Well, I think what's justified is the fact that if they're famous, if they're good, they're playing in college, they should be entitled to making a deal with, endorsements and commercials and that sort of thing. I mean, if they are a star, and these rules where they were prohibited from doing anything, the team they couldn't even wear their shirt with a number on it for a personal appearance, before, and the university owned everything. So, I mean, you know, I guess it's fair. As far as the amounts go, that's between them having a good representation and people that want to spend the money. But it's amazing. And now they have the portals where they can go from school to school, and it's outstanding. But, you know, one thing I want to point out, you were talking about quarterbacks and their ability to be smart and clever along with physical skills. You know, Jalen Hurts, a lot of people don't know this. He has his BS degree and a master's degree. He graduated from college when he was 20 and got his master's degree last year. So he's a very cerebral guy, and you see that the way he plays. I really appreciate his quality of play. Not the big numbers passing, but that's because of the style of offense that they had, and they won the Super Bowl with it.
Right. That makes me respect him even more. I wasn't aware of that educational background.
I mean, especially when you know you don't need it. I mean, he's not going to need that education to have a great life after football.
Listen, to have master degrees and be able to squat 600 or 800 pounds, I mean, he's kind of all the way around a Superman.
100 pounds.
600
You got to
pounds.
be kidding me. It's unbelievable.
Unreal. Between him and Saquon Barkley, one of my favorite players out there.
I know Michael's got to go, but I want to ask one more question before we get him out of here, Buff. And this alludes to your relationship with him and you know, the business side of things. Michael, you're a piece of Americana. Both of you guys are the number one and number two. That's the only thing I think is debatable in combat sports. Who's number one and who's number two? The winners' names of both those slots ends with Buffer. We've seen Michael carry over to a lot of mainstream things. You talk about NFL games, but we've also seen pop culture things. Is there a time where maybe Michael made an appearance and they did a play? I remember there was like this cheese commercial where it was "Let's get ready to crumble" because it was called Crumbelievable, like cheese pieces.
Kraft commercial.
Yeah, okay, there you go. And I think Michael was on Mad TV one time. Is there an appearance that stands out for you guys where a play off of "Let's get ready to rumble" was memorable, but it wasn't those words exactly?
I'll let Michael answer that one because there's so many that I can mention.
Sure.
Let Michael go for that one.
For me, like my absolute favorite appearances were in The Simpsons and South Park. It's fun to like see yourself as an animated figure. But I'll tell you something interesting that I really love, and you know, Tim Burton had me play the announcer for Dumbo. You know, that brings Dumbo to fly for the first time.
That's awesome.
And we shot our scenes, and everything was done. And I said, you know, how about I have an idea. I said, in the animated feature, there's this scene where these crows say, I've seen a diamond ring, I've seen this and that, but you haven't seen anything till you see an elephant fly. And they say, I've seen a horse fly and a house fly. So I said, how about we try to incorporate something like that? And I just ad-libbed it, and I said, you've seen a house fly, you've seen a dragonfly, you've even seen a house fly, a horse fly, whatever. And that's what they ended up using in the film.
Wow.
And he wrote a book about it and a chapter about that whole story. So that's probably one of my favorite appearances. That and being the villain in Don't Mess with the Zohan.
I was going to mention that one because you did a great job in that. You know, it's funny, a little addition to that story. I met Adam Sandler at a USC event. It was about 2 weeks or so before. Well, anyway, I met him at an event, and I said to him at the event, "You have many icons in your movies. I go, you should put my brother, Michael Buffer. I mean, he's a legendary icon in one of your films." And I got a smile and acknowledgement. And it was about 2 weeks later that they called and hired Michael to co-star in the movie, which you did a fantastic job in, Michael. That's one of my favorite ones right there, aside from being a very funny movie. Definitely. Michael can do it all. Announce, act. What can't you do, Mr. Buffer?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, that was some high fight IQ right there, Bruce. You see that? He knows the answer, but he doesn't going to give you one.
Well, there's one other thing I know Michael loved to do in the past too, and loved his wrestling appearances at the WCW pay-per-view events, the Monday Night Nitros.
Yeah, I remember being in the Target Center in Minneapolis, Bruce, in 1997, and Michael was there, and I had never really experienced a live sporting event ever like that, and I think Michael was the thing that I left going home with the most, being one of the most memorable. That's the only thing I remember from that night of wrestling was Michael Buffer.
I can give you a laundry sheet of different appearances that Michael has done, whether he said, let's get ready to rumble, or let's get ready for paraphrasing of something else. But the bottom line is, Michael, aside from being my brother, I love you very much. You truly are, number one, legendarily, the greatest sports and entertainment announcer, number one of all time. And that's the way it is. And I love saying that.
I love you back, brother. I
You
love
got
you
it.
back, man. That's thanks so much. But we'll have to not let 55 years go past the next appearance on your podcast. So that might just be that might be a tribute to me being busy and you too. So
Yeah, exactly.
Let's put it that way.
Well, not too busy to where we finally did work together last year when we both announced the F1 in Las Vegas. That was definitely a memorable time. Anyway, again, I can go through a laundry list. There's so many. Wasn't that great? It was awesome. Totally awesome. Michael, I could keep you on. Obviously, we could talk for hours and hours. So I know you got to get going. Thanks for coming on the show. And have a great time. Have a great time this weekend. It's a huge event. You'll be announcing the main event and undercard events, a couple. Total of 4 fights, right?
The fight's on Netflix. And if you have Netflix, you're going to see it included in your package. And basically, you can say for free. And if you don't have Netflix, you're a fool. It's a great streaming. It's the best. I love Netflix.
I love Netflix too. I think it's great. All right, everybody. The fight's on Netflix. Also, too, if you want to have your own legendary video intro being introduced like a champion and many other videos upon your request. But Michael is on Cameo. So check out Michael Buffer on Cameo. Definitely does a lot of videos there. Michael, have a great day. I'll probably talk to you later today. And
all right, for sure.
All right.
All right, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Have a great time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
One of the best in the business, maybe the best in the business. Besides yourself, I'm not going to lie. Now that he's off the phone,
I'm going to say again. I'm saying the best in the business. I mean, Michael is so multi-talented in so many different ways and done so many different things to prove it. Michael's 80 years old now, still going strong. And what did he say? 1997? Was that what was the first?
1982.
1982. Excuse me, I got that wrong.
Yeah, that's all right.
35, 43 years.
Yeah.
43 years.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And like I said, I went to that pro wrestling event. This is where he got 1997 from. And he's the only thing I remember from a night that was very memorable in my youth. I mean, that says something.
That's what he does. He's memorable. That's why when you look at the announcers and you watch these announcers in different sports, how many do you remember the next day? You remember Michael Buffer. Okay, and that's the way it's been.
Sometimes you remember some of these announcers for the wrong reasons. Just saying.
Well, all respect to all announcers because everybody's out there doing their best, and I have respect for everybody.
Here's my thing, Bruce, and I'm pretty opinionated about these things and how it relates to broadcasting. I mean, we've seen people. Like, I think you started it all. I think you're the one to blame, to be honest with, because you were so different from everyone else. You talked about how you early in the days were just kind of stiff and rigid and standing there, and then over the years, it was the Buffer 45 and the 180 and the 360, UFC 100, and then I think it started to click with some of these guys that were trying to get where you are today. Oh, I need to be loud. I need to be boisterous. I need to stop, drop, and roll like I'm on fire. I mean, we've seen that. Like, it's crazy. And, you don't want to dissuade anybody because ring announcers that are, doing smoky events and armories right now are going to be, the future of this sport. But you got to get your own style, but have the style not be friggin' ridiculous. You know what I mean?
What do I always say? You can learn from others. You can observe others. create your own style. That's what you'll be recognized and remembered for. If you're just copying with let's get ready to this or the movements or that or the other,
Yeah.
you're either going to come across original or you're going to come across awkward and comical. So it just depends. But the bottom line is, I wish all the best to every ring announcer out there. Success breeds competition. Competition breeds success. Just my last bit of advice. Create your own style. That's what you'll be recognized and remembered for. And good luck to everybody out there holding the mic and entertaining the fans and the audience, because the announcer is very important to the event. It is not about the announcer. It is about the participants and involved in the sport and the fans watching the sport. And you're there to serve them. And like I always say, I just try to bring it to the highest level I can to honor the participants and to entertain the fans.
Yeah, and that's why I think you do a phenomenal job. And you've always said that. You've always, wanted to inspire, but you've also wanted to elevate. I mean, I think that's something that your main focal point is. I think a lot of people look at you and you're a bit of nostalgia for them because you've been in this UFC game for so long that they want to hear it's time. But I don't think that you've done anything to ever pull away the attention from the athletes that are inside the octagon with you. Despite being loud, you've proven that you can be loud, you can be boisterous, you can be yourself, but you don't step over that line of being ridiculous. And I think, parody, it is what it is, but a lot of people are a little bit ridiculous.
Yep. But again, all the credit to him, and I wish him all the best. And thank you for your kind words. And I will continue to do that. The beauty of the situation is that I'm known for my style. Michael Buffer is known for his legendary great style that he does. And our styles don't cross. We're individuals, which is what I wanted it to be when I decided that this is something I wanted to do.
In both of you, you could look at Michael and, draw some inspiration from him, but you both ended up with styles that were completely before, your guys' time. There wasn't a real hard, fast rule book established when you guys sort of created the positions and styles that you embody today.
Exactly. But one last note, it's great to have Michael on the show. He is legendary, and he changed the whole face of announcing when he took over. And our adventure together, meeting late in life and accomplishing all we've done together has been nothing but a memorable, amazing experience for me. And want to keep it going and keep doing what we do.
It's just real quick on that note, Buff, if you guys had drama between you, this would be a made for the big screen sort of movie, but you guys are too grounded and too even keeled that you lack the sort of storyline that would make this a blockbuster sort of film. So you need to start some madness between you two, at least sell it to the media a little bit. That way we can get you guys on the silver screen.
I don't think madness needs to be had between us to get it. We've been offered the story of our lives, and there's things that are in the works without talking about them.
I can't wait.
If it ever comes to fruition, it'll be an amazing and memorable experience for both of us.
It's one of the greatest sports stories, Buff, in the history of sports, period.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate that. No, we get along great. That's the beauty of it. We get along great. I've had the honor and pleasure of working with my brother now for, my gosh, well over 30 years. And as his manager, his friend, and his loving brother. And we'll continue to do what we do together. And Michael does a lot on his own, too, and he's just a nonstop machine. I mean, think about it. He is a nonstop machine. That's why they call it Let's Get Ready to Rumble, because he's the Rumble Man. I'm the man behind the Rumble. He's the Rumble Man. He's the legend. So, TJ, with that, and again, thank you for all your kind words. I want to sign off on the show, but a couple little notes here. Dexter Resurrection, highly recommend it to everybody. Tulsa King is coming back September 21st. One of my favorite TV series with Sylvester Stallone. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And the lightsaber from Star Wars we talked about a little while ago did finally sell for $3.65 million.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And this gets into my other thing here. You'll notice that the It's Time Sports Card and Esports Center that I'm opening up in Agur Hills, California. Everybody go to Instagram and please give us a follow if you're a sports card collector. It's time /sports cards will come right up on Instagram and on TikTok, and follow it because there's nothing like this. 8,000 square foot center, sports cards, esports, comic books.
Yep.
what are those little things that the people, Lulu baby, what do they call them?
I don't know.
Babaloo's, Lululus, I forget.
I don't know.
There's so many collectibles that are going to be here. It's gonna be a shop for everybody, and for ripping open cars, the streamers, the whole bit. So it's Time Sports Cars and Esports Center. Very proud of that coming up.
I can't wait to see it. I just hope you give me a call and help me set up a podcast space over there for you. That's what I really want.
The podcast should be during the launch party. So
yeah, I think so too. But this is just so you, Bruce. Like, we've done this show. I mean, we're pushing 20 years, honestly. Like, I think I think 2008 was the first show we did, so 17 years or so. Throughout that entire time, we've talked about collectibles. Maybe not the type of collectible you're going to find in an esports shop, but collecting is something that you're very passionate about. And I'm excited for you to have that just at your disposal to hang out with collectors of things whenever you want to. Go in and quote unquote go to the office and get your hands dirty with the evolving landscape that is collectibles.
It's a wide landscape, and it's a fantastic investment. Mr. Wonderful just bought the Kobe Bryant Jordan card for over $12 million from his investor team, and he says this is one of the things to be into. So we'll talk more about it. There'll be a lot of talk about it on It's Time Radio. All right, TJ, I've got to get going. I've got a busy week. I got to get to San Antonio for the El Noche card.
Yeah.
Same night, next Saturday. I'll see you off in the Octagon. It's a hell of a card. And headlining that card, of course, is the Diego Lopez Jean Silva fight. Rob Font, Dave Martinez on the co-main. There is a co-main, of course, in this one. And a lot of fine fighters. It's going to be a night of fine fights. So there's a lot to watch in the fighting world on Saturday. Take your choice, pick your poison. And Michael will see you from the ring. I will see you from the Octagon. TJ, what's up?
Coming up Wednesday, so a couple days ago, as people see this, I would have been on the ground for PGF, which is Breaking Barriers. It's a team-based grappling event. It's their playoffs. They've sold 3 teams, Bruce, for $1 million a pop. It's a 7-figure entry, and you own a franchise. It's like owning the jiu-jitsu version of the Philadelphia Eagles. There's actually a Philadelphia team that just bought in for, I don't know, a sum that I think is north of 7 figures. They're called the Philly Phenoms. And jiu-jitsu has definitely been changing its own landscape the last few years. So you can check that out. It's available now as you watch this on YouTube. It's a single night tournament that has one of the best formats you'll ever see. It's like the NBA Jam contest of jiu-jitsu, Bruce. If you're on bottom mount and you give up your back and you are fighting out of a rear naked choke and you don't move or improve your position, they start to take points away from you. Yeah, you're stopping a choke, but they want you to take risks. If you are just on bottom mount and you're not giving up your back, you can be deducted points for not giving up your back. They will not tolerate any sort of stalemate jiu-jitsu. You have to advance, and that means even if you're trying to fight out of a choke. And that they're very quick matches. They have a finishing rate north of 50%. Phenomenal stuff. Check that out on YouTube. Friday night, more jiu-jitsu live in San Antonio. I'll be on the call for the Eddie Bravo Invitational the night before UFC Noche. If you're in town, Buff, come on out. Hang out with Eddie Bravo. We'll talk about things that require tinfoil hats. It could be fun.
What is this?
Friday night, the night before Noche. You can watch it on the UFC Fight Pass for those at home.
That's not in San Antonio, is it?
Yeah, that's what I said. San Antonio.
Oh,
you and I are going to be in the same
I wasn't even aware of that.
Friday night, I'll be out there.
I've got early call time on Saturday, a lot of work and prep.
I got you. We can't have dinner?
Possibly.
A late dinner?
Let me know. If you're staying in my hotel, let me know. It's
I probably won't be staying at your hotel, but the Uber works just fine. But
text me up. Text me up and hit me up. Hit me up once my work is done.
I will. Who are you kidding, Buff? I know your work's done before you get on the plane.
Oh, no. You know how the UFC's a machine. My cards are done and everything, but then there's weigh-ins, there's weights, there's corrections. You know what can happen. Cars can get changed.
I hear you. Yeah. I hear you. But
you see what my cars look like. That's
I know. They're pieces of art. Speaking of collectibles.
Yeah. I've got about 4 hours of work ahead of me here, and I've got 2 hours or more of work ahead of me when I get
always working.
It's okay. I love what I do.
All work and no play makes Buffer more Monet.
That's okay. That's all right.
That was a nice rhyme right there.
Like my wonderful, beautiful little mama always said, go make that Monet.
There you go. But no, if people want to check that out, EBI Friday night in San Antonio. Hopefully you can check it out. All part of this Noche event. And then obviously got the big fights coming up on Saturday. Netflix. Michael watched that or mentioned that, and it's going to be hard for me, Buff. I'm going to have the UFC, over here and boxing over here. I don't think they overlap too much. They might not overlap at all, to be honest with you.
I'll have Netflix on my phone at the table.
Okay, they do overlap then, but yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Got to do it. I mean, the app is on the phone. Everybody, get your Netflix. Check out the Canelo Crawford fight.
How
and of
crazy
course,
it is that that's
UFC
free
No
on
Check.
Netflix. I mean, obviously you pay for Netflix, but like that's why I think it's the greatest time to be a combat sports fan, Buff, because most people are going to have access to this and they're not paying an extra penny for it.
It's incredible. It's incredible. We'll talk about it next week.
Sounds
We'll have
good.
to talk about it next week after this weekend. It's a historical weekend. All right, everybody. TJ, thank you very much. Again, thanks to the great, legendary Michael Buffer, my brother, for coming on the show. We will have him back again. Definitely not a number of years. So there's other big events coming up. And thank you to Dana White. Thank you to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for putting on the Canelo Crawford fight and all the great boxing that's going to be coming up. So I'll see you from the Octagon. TJ, I'll see you next week. Everybody set your goals, write them down. So when you step on that yellow brick road to your future, you be the best you can be, because then you're winning. And that's what we're all about in It's Time Radio, and that's winning, as witnessed by the winning guests that we had on the show today. Big cheers, everybody. See you from the Octagon Saturday. Have a great weekend and enjoy the fights.